How low can you go? So I'm recording this just at the end of Q2 in 2022, and already there's discussion about commodity prices from copper to wheat are collapsing, and it could cause inflation to flip into deflation. And I think I know why. I don't think it's going to flip into deflation, but a lot of people are getting nervous / excited because of having two quarters of negative GDP growth. For some reason, that's the magical time when we declare that a recession has occurred, right? It's like drawing an arbitrary line where you decide that something flips, right? Like making a resolution to lose weight, and by the time you hit a certain line in the sand, all of a sudden you go from unhealthy to healthy. It doesn't really work that way, right? But this is great because it gives me a buying opportunity. I hope to buy some copper mining stocks. Unlike the gold and silver mining stock, copper mining stocks have remained elevated. But I like it because a lot of gold and silver comes as a byproduct of copper mining. A lot of Americans seem to have a mistaken belief that about the relative values of some of the metals, though. Most people seem to dislike precious metals, but a lot of people seem to have the mistaken idea that copper is much more valuable than it ought to be. So I work at a tutoring center, and I was showing one of the kids electrolysis, and we're going to copper plate some metal objects. And I needed a source of copper, so I looked all over for a copper penny, 1981 and earlier, and I asked one of my coworkers to see if he had one in his pocket, and sure enough we found one, but my coworker was kind of surprised you could even find any. He was like, isn't this stuff worth like a few bucks a coin? And so that's the kind of sentiment I had. I was at a theme park, this was shortly before COVID-19, and I love putting coins into the penny presser, but I always use a copper one because they turn out a whole lot better. You don't get the streaking from the zinc metal inside. And so I asked some of the workers at the concession stand if they could check for me, and they didn't believe they had it. There's no way we're going to have stuff like that. And I explained to them that, I'd say at least 10% of the coins are like that. And they checked for me, and sure enough, they had quite a few. And the people at the concession stands were also very surprised. They were like, isn't this stuff worth a fortune? And I showed them how much copper was worth. It was worth like 2, maybe 3 cents, but they were very surprised, right? At the same time, they think gold and silver is worthless as an investment. So I think part of the reason copper mining stocks are elevated is the misconception. Most people have the experience of high copper prices, right? Theft of pipes, or if they're doing any sort of home construction, how expensive it is. Not too many people come into direct contact with the price of gold and silver, at least not in macroscopic amounts, right? Anyway, how low can you go? So I hope they officially announce the recession. It's going to cause some shockwaves, and I hope to load up. Thanks for watching.